Each year, close to 10 million pigs are moved alive across international borders, not as packaged meat or frozen carcasses, but as live animals, stepping onto trucks, standing in holding pens at customs, eating from suspended feeders on ferry decks. Their destinations vary. Some are sent for breeding, others for fattening, and many for slaughter. But the method of transport remains consistent, designed to keep them alive, healthy, and economically viable through every stage. Moving live. Pigs isn't a niche practice. It's a highly coordinated system backed by strict regulations, temperature-controlled trailers, and carefully timed routes. A single shipment might carry 180 animals, roughly 20 tons of muscle and movement, across 2 or 3 countries in less than 48 hours. And in many cases, they're monitored more closely than passengers on a commercial flight. This system exists for a reason. Processing meat locally isn't always the most efficient option. Some countries import live pigs to balance domestic demand. Others import breeding stock to improve genetic lines. In regions with disease restrictions or limited processing infrastructure, sending animals whole can be more cost-effective than shipping parts. What makes this system work isn't just technology, but timing. Too long without water, and stress levels rise. Too little ventilation, and the heat inside the trailer can climb above 30 degrees Celsius. Even on a mild day, one missed inspection, and an entire shipment can be turned around at the border. Still, it happens on a massive scale, quietly, daily, with few outside the industry even aware. But behind every live hog on the road is a sequence of decisions, rules, machines, and manual labor that keeps the flow moving, and it all begins long before the engine starts. The international movement of live pigs isn't limited to one region or continent. It spans from the open-air farms of central Spain to the dense finishing barns of Iowa, from Denmark's coastal exporters to Canada's prairie breeders. Despite the scale, the reasons behind it are often local. Countries import pigs, not just for meat, but to stabilize prices, expand breeding programs, or meet specific consumer demands. Europe plays a central role. Within the European Union, pigs can cross multiple national borders without facing full customs inspections, provided strict animal welfare and traceability rules are met. A pig born in the Netherlands might be raised in Germany, fattened in Poland, and slaughtered in Italy, all under a single unified system. In 2023 alone, over 38 million pigs were transported between EU member states, with Denmark exporting more than 14 million wieners, mostly to Germany and Poland. Beyond Europe, North America follows its own set of protocols. In the United States, pigs move freely across state lines, while international exports, especially from the Midwest to Mexico or from Canada to the US, are tightly regulated. Canada's Manitoba province, for example, is a major exporter of piglets, often under 3 weeks old, which are shipped by truck to US farms where they'll be raised for market. Further east, China stands as the world's largest consumer of pork, importing both breeding stock and, occasionally, live slaughter pigs to maintain supply during regional shortages or outbreaks. These long-haul exports often require air transport and weeks of quarantine on arrival. Across all these movements, the driving factors remain consistent: access to feed, cost of land, disease control, labor availability, and infrastructure. Some regions are better suited for early-stage breeding. Others specialize in rapid fattening, where pigs gain over 1 kilogram per day in carefully controlled environments. What connects them all is logistics. The ability to move animals, not just meat, gives producers more flexibility. It helps manage disease risks, stabilize regional markets, and maintain genetic diversity. And behind every shipment is a network of contracts, inspection points, and transportation specialists who understand that timing, temperature, and terrain all play a role in keeping the system working. Before a single wheel turns, the process begins in silence, inside a barn, under fluorescent light, with pigs resting on straw or slatted floors. Here, preparation doesn't mean packing boxes. It means selecting animals, verifying their health, and clearing them for departure under rules that leave little room for error. The first requirement is traceability. Each pig must be identifiable by origin, age, and health status. In many countries, this begins with an ear tag or tattoo applied within days of birth. For pigs destined for export, the documentation includes vaccination history, weight records, and in some cases, the genetic line of the parents. Transporting animals without this paperwork isn't just risky, it's illegal. Veterinary checks follow. Depending on the destination, pigs may be examined once, twice, or several times within a short window. The focus is on visible health indicators: clean eyes, steady gait, normal breathing. But inspectors also look for signs of stress, ulcers, irregular movement, or excessive vocalization. A single sign of illness in one pig can delay the entire shipment. Biosecurity protocols are strict. In high-standard operations, trucks arrive fully washed and disinfected, with sealed compartments that won't open until the pigs are loaded. Workers use disposable clothing, and the loading area itself is isolated from other parts of the farm. In some regions, pigs must be isolated for 48 to 72 hours prior to transport, kept separate from the main herd to reduce the risk of contamination. Only certain pigs qualify for live export. Age and weight matter. In Europe, most transported pigs are weaners, young animals between 21 and 30 days old, weighing around 7 to 12 kilograms. In North America, larger finishing pigs may be moved for slaughter, typically weighing over 100 kilograms, about the size of a fully loaded washing machine. Finally, timing is critical. Load too early, and pigs may spend unnecessary hours confined. Load too late, and the truck may miss its window for inspection or border crossing. Most operations aim to complete loading within 45 to 90 minutes, using gates, paddles, and calm, steady movement. Because any sudden noise or rough handling can increase heart rate, raise cortisol levels, and lead to bruising, which affects both animal welfare and carcass quality. At this stage, nothing is left to chance. Every detail, from feed withdrawal to truck temperature, is calculated to protect the animal's condition before the long hours on the road begin. Once cleared for transport, pigs are guided from their pens toward the waiting trailers. The movement is deliberate, not rushed, not shouted over. Pigs are sensitive to noise and changes in light. Shadows, puddles, or sudden changes in elevation can cause hesitation or panic. So handlers use curved chutes, non-slip flooring, and side panels to guide them without force. The transport trailers themselves are specialized machines, designed not just to carry weight, but to maintain an internal environment suitable for living animals. A standard 2-deck pig trailer can hold between 160 and 220 weaners, or around 100 finishing pigs, depending on local density regulations. The maximum load must balance animal welfare, space requirements, and road weight limits, typically keeping the full weight around 20 to 25 metric tons. Inside the trailer, ventilation is key. On warmer days, fans circulate air through the compartments, some moving more than 15,000 liters per minute. On cold days, insulated panels and adjustable vents keep the interior from dropping below 15 degrees Celsius. Sensors monitor temperature and humidity in real time, with alarms that alert the driver if conditions become unsafe. The floors are often slatted metal or heavy-duty plastic, designed for drainage and grip. Some systems include automated watering units, providing pigs with fresh water during long trips. Others use bedding materials, wood shavings, straw, or sawdust to improve comfort and absorb waste. This isn't just for cleanliness. It reduces slipping, cushions impact during turns or stops, and helps regulate temperature from beneath. Loading is usually done via hydraulic ramps or adjustable docks that align with the trailer deck. These ramps maintain a shallow angle, no steeper than 20 degrees, to reduce strain on the animals. At each level, divider gates are used to create compartments, limiting crowding and minimizing movement during transit. Once loaded, the pigs settle quickly, Most lie down within 20 to 30 minutes, conserving energy for the hours ahead. The trucks themselves are often outfitted with shock-absorbing suspension, reducing the impact of potholes and road vibration. This matters more than it might seem. Excessive shaking or jolting can increase stress and cause bruising, particularly in heavier animals. Some vehicles also include external water tanks or auxiliary power units, allowing temperature and airflow to continue even when the engine is off. Driving behavior is another layer of control. Transporters are trained to avoid sudden stops, hard turns, or rapid acceleration. Each movement of the truck is felt inside by the pigs, and poor handling not only risks injury, but violates welfare regulations that are increasingly enforced across major exporting countries. By the time the vehicle pulls onto the road, it has become more than a truck. It's a moving environment, regulated, monitored, and controlled to carry its living cargo over hundreds, sometimes thousands of kilometers. What looks like a routine haul is, in reality, a carefully managed process where airflow, floor texture, and driving habits all shape the outcome long before the final destination is reached. At international borders, the trailer doesn't just pass through, it's inspected, sometimes visually, often electronically. Officers check digital transport logs, veterinary documents, and temperature records stored in onboard systems. In the European Union, live pigs must stop at control points every 8 hours, where they're unloaded for rest, water, and feed. Some cross-border stations resemble miniature farms, built solely for layovers. GPS tracking ensures the vehicle follows its approved route, while welfare officers verify that pigs are transported in legal density and environmental conditions. If even one irregularity is found, the shipment may be delayed or refused entirely. When distances exceed what trucks can handle, ships and planes take over. Specialized livestock vessels can carry thousands of pigs at once, housed in stacked pens with automatic feeders and continuous air exchange. The decks are washed mid-voyage, and crews monitor conditions around the clock. For high-value breeding stock, air transport is used. Pigs loaded into custom-built crates, flown in climate-controlled cargo holds with cabin temperatures kept between 15 and 20 degrees Celsius. Every hour matters. Delays can risk animal welfare, and upon landing, the pigs enter strict quarantine before joining domestic herds. Upon arrival, the trailer doors open slowly. Pigs step down onto fresh bedding, guided into holding pens for observation. Inspectors check for injuries, signs of heat stress, or unusual behavior. Some pigs go directly to slaughterhouses. Others enter breeding or fattening farms, depending on age and purpose. Water and feed are provided immediately. In some countries, animals are reweighed, photographed, and assigned new identification numbers. For breeding stock, reintegration includes weeks of controlled acclimation. Transport may be finished, but biological stress lingers, and managing that final phase is critical to preserving value and welfare. Modern livestock transport relies on more than skilled drivers and well-built trailers. Sensors monitor air quality, humidity, and movement inside each compartment. If carbon dioxide levels rise or temperature shifts beyond safe limits, alerts are sent instantly to the transporter. Some systems adjust ventilation automatically. Others track the pig's movement to detect distress. In Europe, only certified handlers are allowed to operate long-distance transports, trained in emergency procedures and animal behavior. These technologies aren't just regulatory requirements. They protect the animals and ensure the shipment remains both legal and economically viable. Behind every shipment is a calculation. Transporting live pigs is costly: fuel, permits, labor, equipment. But for many producers, it's worth the investment. Breeding animals can sell for thousands of dollars, especially those from disease-free or high-performance herds. In 2023, Denmark alone exported over $500 million worth of live pigs. Some regions import weaners to take advantage of cheaper feed, or faster finishing cycles. Others import breeding lines to upgrade genetics. Shipping live animals offers flexibility, allowing producers to adjust supply chains in real time. It's not just about distance, it's about control, timing, and long-term value. The sight of a pig trailer passing on the highway rarely draws attention, but behind the steel walls and tinted vents lies one of the most carefully regulated movements in modern agriculture. From biosecurity checks on farms to digital logs at borders, from climate-controlled cargo holds to sensors tracking heartbeat and humidity, every shipment reflects a web of logistics designed to move life, not just livestock. This is not a fast industry, but it is precise. Regulations evolve, equipment improves, and training standards rise. A single delay can ripple through an entire supply chain. A small oversight can compromise weeks of planning. Yet despite these risks, the system works daily at global scale because the incentives are clear and the margins are tight and the numbers continue to grow. In 2024, nearly 10 million pigs were moved across borders, many traveling over 2,000 kilometers in under 3 days, alive, traceable, and ready to re-enter the food system, quietly, efficiently, and almost entirely out of sight.